Welcome to Waywut, your weekly verbal double take. This is a rabbit hole podcast where a couple of old guys do moderate to shallow dives into various topics, ranging from true crime, paranormal, sports, pop culture, or anything else that we find interesting. We drop episodes every Tuesday and on Fridays if we feel like it. You can follow us on Facebook, X, and TikTok. We appreciate you joining us. And now that we got all this self promotion stuff out of the way, here we go.
Why, hello there, and thank you for joining us. My name is Jason, and I will be the lead engineer today as I bring forth another topic that made me say, wait, what? Joining me as always and playing with his Lincoln Logs, Darrell Holiday.
Lincoln Logs?
Lincoln Logs.
I can't say nothing. I had Lincoln Logs.
Hell yeah.
And I preferred it. I had Legos, Lincoln Logs, and Tinker Toys.
Tinker Toys, that's the one I couldn't think of the name of.
Lincoln Logs was actually my favorite.
Yes, you could really build some extravagant log cabins with that thing.
Well, I liked it because I could build stuff G.I. Joe size.
Mm-hmm. It was easier to build too, as long as you had all the little connection pieces and the little windows and the doors. And yeah, it was a lot of fun playing with those.
Yeah.
Tinker Toys were cool. You could build like a Ferris wheel and shit.
In theory, I never built one. All I ever seemed to do is just spin a bunch of sticks around. I couldn't do anything. I was try to make a car and it just wouldn't roll. And I don't know what I'm doing.
I was thinking of those. I could not think of it, what they were called. It was either going to be a Lincoln Logs or Tinker Toys. But I went with Lincoln Logs. Yeah.
I liked them both better than Lego. All I could ever build with Lego is a big box.
Big box. Did you call a house?
I guess. I mean, it was always just a box.
You ever watch that Lego show they have on Fox, the Lego Builders or whatever it's called?
No.
It's these people, they get these teams of 2 or 3 people, and they come and challenge each other to build these Lego things. And they're extravagant, and they give them 6 hours to build this scene, and they just go at it with these Legos.
That's
and
crazy.
It's incredible. Yeah.
Have you seen a Lego vending machine?
No.
They're at the airports.
You can get out Legos or the vending machine.
You go to the vending machine and you pick out whatever Lego set you want, and spits out the Lego set.
Oh, that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, there for a little bit after my daughter got her first job. She worked really hard to try to convince her mom to let her buy a Lego Eiffel Tower set.
$200.
No, higher.
Ooh, 400?
700. 700. And the other day I saw it on Amazon. It was the Lego set for the Ghostbusters. Their that little old fire department. Of theirs. 1,000.
That's incredible. That's fucking insane. I mean, you've been in the Lego store and you've seen all the stuff they have there. I've seen an Atari. You can build an Atari out of Legos. That's pretty cool.
Build all sorts of stuff.
It's really cool. But $1,000, where I probably won't be able to put it together.
I would do it.
Well, now we got off on that Lego tangent. Let's bring it back in. We go through life using objects and really give no thought on who invented it or when. Better yet, we often think that the object that we are using was designed for that purpose. For example, in our previous episode, Genericide, Say My Name, I brought up bubble wrap. Excuse me, inflated cushioning. Its intended purpose was actually for wallpaper. The inventors realized how dumb that was and how useful it was for packing fragile items, and the rest is history. That got me wondering how many other items that we use every day fall under this same category. I found a treasure trove, so I thought we could play a little game. I'm going to tell you the item and give you some options on what its intended purpose was.
Oh, okay. I dig this. I like this. Let's do it.
The first item, we've all heard of it, is WD-40. We have all used this lubricant to loosen that bitch of a screw or to make that door stop squeaking so you can sneak out, or just a little in your coffee to get things moving. However, its first intended use was for A, A spray used for whiskey dick, usually for men over 40. B. Non-stick spray for cooking. Or C. To displace moisture from space shuttle components.
I will go with, and not to critique you, but
Mm-hmm.
the whiskey dick thing, I would
Mm-hmm.
have said personal lubricant
Oh, okay.
because it's actually a lubricant.
It is.
I
I have a
I could
few lubricants on here, so
I could see some like duct tape aficionado like spraying it into his wife's hoo ha, being like, "Let's get this thing ready." All right, so I'm gonna go with the space shuttle one.
very correct. C. The WD actually stands for water displacement. So
Ooh.
it was used for space shuttle components. And now, of course, we know how we use it today.
You did make the choice really easy, though.
Well, yes, that's how this is going to go.
Oh, okay. So I'm never gonna be challenged. Fine.
No,
I'm
there
so
are
glad
going to be
that
some
you
challenging
decided
ones.
to be silly instead of like intellectually challenging me. I
Oh, no,
appreciate
there
that.
will be some challenging ones.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I'm so
The next one.
scared.
Oh, yeah. Slinky. Everyone loves the slinky. Slinky, slinky, go, slinky, go. We have all done the stair thing with all of us failing at the last stair. But what was its first intended use? A. A coil that was meant to be stretched for transfer of electricity. B. Help maintain sensitive instruments on ships to remain steady. Or C. Breathable arm sleeves for an armored suit.
I would go with the electric current one.
Wrong. B.
Ooh,
Help maintain sensitive instruments on ships to remain steady. It was
really?
des-
Because that's one of the most unsteady things ever. But all
what?
right.
It was designed during World War II to counter the effects of the pitch, roll, and yaw. And then they
The,
realized how great it was falling downstairs, and the rest is history.
falling downstairs, going in pairs, Slinky, Slinky, what a wonderful toy, Slinky, Slinky, fun for a girl or boy. That
Yeah.
one.
Only thing I think about was Ace Ventura on part two.
Ah, we got
Do
to
it
go back.
again. That was a great scene. Great scene. All right. Play-Doh. Yes, the odd smell in clay, if you get stuck in your carpet, you might as well get a new one, had another intended purpose. Was it for A, wallpaper cleaner, B, a bonding putty, or C, molding putty for different sizes of dildos?
First, before I guess,
Mm-hmm.
if my son ever listens to this and he's like, "Dad, how come I never got Play-Doh?" Because of the carpet thing. I
Mm-hmm.
refuse to ever let him have Play-Doh. He never got Play-Doh.
Oh, it's
Uh,
so true. It's so true.
I mean,
And they
which
only
is,
usually get one use out of it because they can never put it back up in the container and they can never put the lid back on it.
I mean, plus side though, it's non-toxic. So, I mean, like if you're ever like in a survival situation, I guess you can eat it, but whatever. I'm gonna go with the first one.
A wallpaper cleaner. You are correct.
Yeah.
Wasn't a very good wallpaper cleaner, hence the why it became what it is today. But as many of these inventions go, the original intention was not very thought out well.
I
Okay.
mean, have you ever tried to clean anything with it?
Uh, no, but have you seen those infomercials for like slime, but it's used as a cleaning
Yeah.
material when you're like in your car, when you throw it down in your cup holder and move it around and gets all the
Yeah.
crumbs and the
Yeah,
crap out of it.
I need one of those right now. Yeah.
Yeah, could
Does it
work
count?
similar to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it would.
Yeah. Hmm. Uh, Listerine. Not only does it now kill bad breath and give you the worst burning sensation ever after gargling it just for a few seconds, but it also was invented for something else. Was it A, a cure for gonorrhea, B, surgical antiseptic, C, paint thinner?
I cure for gonorrhea.
Yes and no. It's a trick question. It was
A failed cure for gonorrhea.
well, it's a cure for gonorrhea, and it was for a surgical antiseptic.
Okay. All right.
Obviously, it didn't work on either of those, and it may have worked as a paint thinner. I don't know if they ever tried that, but we
It
all know
does
what
kill bacteria.
it does, and that's why they thought they could just pour it on your dick or your hoo ha and get rid of that gonorrhea.
I remember when I was a kid, like my grandfather used to use Listerine, and he didn't. And this was before they had Cool Mint Listerine.
Oh yeah,
This
just
was
the
that
yellow
straight
one.
up yellow, like toxic gasoline one.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime I'd have to have to cut it with like mostly water and just put some in because like that stuff just swishing around in your mouth is just causing some sort of like chemical like burns. It'd be like you don't stop swishing until you see your teeth through your cheek.
Yeah, you actually had to cut it with water.
Yes, it is burned. I'm talking about like whenever I was like 7.
No, it's still funny. It just goes to prove how when you put it in your mouth, it really does burn. It's a fire, and they tell
Like
you to swish it around for 30
like
seconds to a minute. Like no
oh hell
fucking
no.
way.
Even the Cool Mint Listerine was bad about that one. You just have to be swishing it, and you're just sitting there, just steadily feeling your mouth just get stabbed with like all the needles in the world.
Mm-hmm. And those commercials when the people are in the mirror swishing their mouth, they're all smiling and happy. No
Yeah,
way, that shit ain't real.
no.
You'd be jumping up and down with tears in your eyes.
The only Listerine commercials I ever respected was the early computer graphic ones in the early 90s where it was like Listerine like would have a sword and it would be fighting like gingivitis and it'd be like a dragon or it'd be
Mm-hmm.
swinging through a jungle and stuff. That
Mm-hmm.
was that was cool Listerine, but this whole false advertising of people happily swishing that toxic waste in their fucking mouth. No.
No, not a chance in hell. I would agree. All right, the next one. We have all heard of Viagra and what it's used for today, but it was originally developed for what? A. To get rid of varicose veins as it dilates blood vessels. B. To make Saturday night not so lonely. C. A treatment for high blood pressure.
C, a treatment for high blood pressure.
Ding, 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 ding. You are correct.
Damn
As
right
it,
I
it
am.
does dilate your blood vessels in your arteries, so it was for a treatment for high blood pressure.
And that's why you can't take it with nitroglycerin. If you can't have nitroglycerin while you're on that stuff because
Oh, yeah.
your blood pressure's already been lowered, and if they give you nitroglycerin, it does that even more, and then you'll just fucking drop dead.
Yeah. You don't want that happening.
Nope. That's why before a doctor gives like a heart patient nitroglycerin, and like, have you had any dick pills?
Yeah, read the instructions, people. Oh. The next one. The next one's kind of funny. Astroglide. That slippery substance is not only used for those tight situations. Its original purpose was for A. Tanning oil that will not come off in water. B. A space shuttle cooling system. Or C. Used by proctologists at the Cho Compute for first time and nervous clients.
I love how you've made Phil an actual licensed proctologist now.
Yes, he's a
Instead,
reoccurring character.
instead of a street prostate examiner.
Oh
You
no,
know,
he's legit.
oh, he's got documents. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it is the space one.
Yes, the Space Shuttle Cooling System, developed in 1977 at Edwards Air Force Base.
What's so funny is like Astroglide was not. It didn't get known for KY jelly was one for women personal lubrication. Astroglide, that one always got associated at least in the old days with like gay guys.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I just love how they embrace the whole space thing. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be like, hey, this stuff is good enough for space. It's good enough for that guy's ass. Go for it, fellas.
That's probably what they thought the ass part of the Astroglide meant.
Not as that space part.
Well,
And
I
then,
know that, but
yeah, for,
it
like,
just
I was
it,
going to
it
make a docking
and
joke. Now I don't even want to make a docking joke.
You made the docking joke.
I didn't. I wanted to make a docking joke. Never got to make a docking joke.
Oh man, I'm just picturing it now.
So for
Just with
those
a
of
little.
you that don't know, docking is whenever you get two wieners and you push them together, and like one of them takes their skin and pulls their skin over the other one's wiener.
Oh fuck! I didn't know that. I thought you were talking about something different.
No, that's what docking is.
Oh well, I learned something. Learned something today. No, I was picturing
I'm
the
gonna have to go.
something else.
I'm gonna have to go back and think about all the weird stuff that I've said that you probably pretended like you knew what I was talking about.
No, that one I actually thought I knew, and then you totally blew me out of the water with something different. I
No,
don't even have thought of that. Don't even make sense doing it that way. But
I mean it's kind of like whenever you're a kid and you got your Ninja Turtle and your sister's Barbie, and you're like, now kiss. Except it's two consenting men doing it with their wieners.
oh my god.
Are you
Are
okay?
you gonna put a picture up on that one?
No. There's no. I want this to go on YouTube. I'm not gonna
Oh
show
my
it.
god, that's the visual I get in my head is something that I'll never get out again. All right. Okay. Propecia. Propecia. This
Okay, I
is
know that.
yeah. This is something I should be using as it is a proven drug for hair growth on bald men. But what was its first intended use? A. To treat an enlarged prostate. B. To treat an enlarged testicle. Or C. For regrowth of teeth.
Prostate.
Yes, to treat an enlarged prostate. And they realized on their test patients, like, wow, they're really growing some hair. And there it went.
Hey, how come they never just got guys to like rub their dicks on people's bald heads? Because when we were kids, they'd always say if you jerked off, played with yourself, you'd grow hair on your palms.
Mm-hmm. And everybody always looked at their palm. What? Really? Oh.
Jason, let me see your hand. Jason,
That's not true. Look at it. See?
Jason, open your mouth. You got hair in your mouth?
God, I remember that joke. It got everybody. Either they would say, "Uh," or they would look at their hand and they put it back down. Fifth grade boys.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Kotex, the giant, I can see it from behind as you waddle maxi pad. Two were repurposed from their first intended use. Was it for A, surgical dressing, B, hemorrhoid padding, or C, for people with powerful sneezes and weak bladder control?
That's actually the current use for it. I'm not lying. I will say A.
Yes, true. Surgical dressing,
I mean,
produced
of
for
course, it's
World
meant to
War
suck
One.
blood.
Yeah, they realized after the war they were being not used as often, and they knew what else they could use them for of
Yeah,
their absorbent qualities.
I mean, well, back in the old days, women used to have the much like diapers.
Mm-hmm.
They would use reusable cloths that they'd have to clean and stuff like that. So
Or
essentially,
pound that rock to get that blood out.
just get. So it makes sense that having something disposable. I'd like to know the one that's like, all right, cool, you got it, you're catching it on the outside, but how do we get it before it comes out?
Mm.
Hey, Genevieve, come here for a second. Bob, what are you doing with all those cotton balls? Oh, don't worry about it. I'm going to tie them together with a string just like this and think happy thoughts.
Yeah. Breathe in slowly.
Okay, this is not easy to do. Somebody give me the toilet paper tube. Oh, this makes it so much easier.
Oh, I'm probably have to deal with that every day.
I've been married, I've been married most of my adult life. I understand most issues that women face and how that stuff works. I've bought my fair share of tampons, freaking yeast infection medicine and all sorts of whatever other things that you got to buy. I understand. That's why I made the joke about women peeing whenever they sneeze, because they do.
They do. It's a lot harder to hold it in than it is for us.
Yeah, and that's why I understand that they used to have cardboard applicators on it for tampons. So
Mhm.
it's not because I like to play with them in my spare time.
What an
That would
odd
be
hobby you have.
if I wasted my wife's tampons, she'd be very upset with me.
Yeah, those things are expensive and they're needed in emergencies.
Like nosebleeds.
Just like, yeah, yeah. All right, Botox. I didn't think we'd have period talk today, but we just
Hey,
had period talk.
we've had docking talk, and then I felt like we needed representation for the ladies.
Yeah, your docking talk and my docking listening was not syncing up very well. We were not docking in that way.
Yeah, I know you kept talking while I was talking, and I had stuff to say. Besides, I owed you some from that Denver debacle.
Yeah, I barely got out of the penalty box on that one. All right, Botox. Not just for those trophy wives or guys who creep out everyone they talk to, but it gained approval in 1989 for what? A. A way for CIA agents to pass polygraph tests. B. For treatment of cross eyes. Or C. Developed for funeral homes to use on dead bodies.
Ooh, you did good here. It's a paralytic, uh, and so technically, any of those uses are likely, except for the cross-eyed one. And at least in my opinion, I could be wrong. Don't make a face, because like usually, like with cross-eye stuff, they'd actually have to surgically pull out the eye, tighten in the muscles, and then pop that fucker back in. So I am gonna say, since it is a toxin, they initially approved it for dead people.
Mm, wrong. It was
Damn.
for the treatment of cross eyes.
What?
Yeah. It
I
didn't
can't
last
believe.
very long.
I'd
I mean,
imagine not.
you're on the right track though with the paralytic. I mean, you cancel the muscle in the eye, or not cancel it, uh, deaden it, and then it floats back to where it's supposed to be.
I mean, I don't think it. I think if you use a paralytic, it just going to stay in one spot, and then you just have like the one normal eye that all of a
Yeah,
sudden looks crazy because it's the only one moving.
I
It's.
didn't
I mean,
say these worked. I'm just saying what the first intended
I'm
use
gonna say
was.
it's like whenever somebody has a glass eye, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
are you looking at
And
me
to
or?
hit it and make it go back into place. That was a good one. Then
Yeah, it was
you
a good
didn't
one.
know at all. The I thought the obvious one was the cross side, but no.
I
Or
mean,
maybe because
maybe
I have the
people.
answers right in front of me.
Yeah, and you never know. People, either are sitting in their car or sitting in their shitter right now, going, "Yeah, you idiot! It's cross eyes. God, stupid."
Stupid. Ah, Darrell. All right, next one. Lysol. The disinfectant juggernaut completely misjudged what this should be used for when he was introduced it as a cure for athlete's foot, used as deodorant and jock itch, B, an alternative to bathing, or C, contraception, a vaginal douche.
Contraception.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I'd already heard that one
yeah.
before.
They wanted you to spray Lysol on your vagina because they thought it killed sperm.
Hey, there's not a step that I would not take, or there's not a thing I would not do to a woman's body to make sure that I don't have a kid I don't want. I mean, they can't. There's nothing that I am not willing to do to keep them from getting pregnant whenever I don't want them to.
Could you imagine how bad the burn had to
No, because
be?
I don't have a vagina, so no, I have no idea.
But if you're
It's
going
me,
to use a
Jason.
vagina, if it's been freshly sprayed with Lysol, you may get a little Lysol in
I
that little pee
imagine
hole.
Jason. This is something that was invented in the early 20th century, correct?
Yeah, 19th century, somewhere in there.
All right. Do you think men would do something that would hurt them? No. That was for use after. You bang her.
Oh, okay,
You, you,
okay.
you don't pull out, or you were very bad at it, and then you're just like, oh, don't worry, and you jam the thing that kills 99.9% of all little tiny living organisms right up her cooter, you know. So, and I mean, like, hey, I give them credit because I at that point in our history, I would have been worried that you'd be like, Darrell, do you know what the rotor rooter was for originally?
I mean, I get what they're saying. It kills germs. It's think they could kill other things too. So,
I imagine it probably does. I mean, I don't think sperm's that resilient where it can withstand friggin' Lysol. I mean, yeah. So I mean, it's just it is what it is. But I mean, like I said, back then, you guys could be like, hey, I don't want to get you pregnant. I need you to take steps, and which it still kind of is nowadays. Where it's like you get on the pill, you do that. I think if we ever truly, truly, truly wanted to reduce the amount of like teen pregnancy and unwanted births and stuff like that,
uh-huh.
they would finish doing the male contraceptive because guys don't want to knock girls up; they
Uh-huh.
just want to come inside of them. So I mean, and last time I heard, like there was one being tested that I think it's like 80% effective, which like I'd like to think most idiots out there aren't even going to get their body count that high. Be like, well, okay, so he's probably only going to bang like 6 girls, so he could roll the dice. But we've known too many guys who've like they're like, oh, population of China, oh please, that's about half the girls I nailed. And they would, even with an 80% effective male contraceptive, they would still probably squirt out a freaking 50 kids.
You saying a male contraceptive? What do you mean? Not a
Like
condom?
male birth control pill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, like condoms, I they never bothered me. They never bothered me one bit. Uh
They had their intended use.
well, and I
It was
did
better than the alternative.
one, I never wanted the funk.
Uh-huh.
And two, I have no accidental pregnancies that I'm aware of yet. so, so, I mean, that never bothered me. So, like me, if they would have had a male birth control pill, as soon as I was, like, you know, even near remotely active, if a girl glanced at me, I'd be like, "Give me my pills. Give me my pills. Give
She
me my
touched my
pills."
arm. She touched my arm.
Dad, the Hooters waitress is totally into me. You know, um,
I
yeah.
jizzed in my pants.
Unfortunately, though, we put it all on them, and that's why we keep having accidental babies because guys are like, "Babe, take the pill so I
Yeah,
can totally I want to be closer to you. I want to feel closer." The condom puts us so far away from each other.
God, that's such a lame excuse.
Uh, yeah, but it worked. I mean, it's like just the tip thing all over again.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm not saying they deserve Lysol in their hoo ha's or anything
Mm-mm.
like that,
Just
but
wow.
you
It,
know,
uh, it makes it realize that a guy invented it because they sure in hell didn't try it on themselves.
no, good, no.
Mm-mm.
Like here, first rub this all over. Now I get it really good into the pee hole.
Get a little Q-tip. Get it in the side of there.
uh, Anybody that just cringed at the thought of Lysol in the pee hole, um, I'm going to give you a warning about next week's episode. It's also a leg crosser.
It's about pee holes.
No, but it has to do with the general vicinity.
Oh, all right.
I
Looking
ain't
forward to
telling you.
that. All right.
Yeah.
The next one on my list: high heels. This fetish-inducing shoe wasn't always used by call girls, confused men, or working-class women. They were originally designed for the leaders of armies so they can appear taller and intimidating. B. As a punishment to be worn by criminals and made to continuously walk. Or C, to give stability while riding a horse to shoot bows better?
So high heels were traditional that men wore them before women did. I do know
Mhm.
that. I would go with the horse stabilizing one.
Yes, that is correct. They were worn by the Persian army so they could get better stability to shoot their bow and arrow with.
That makes sense.
Mhm. Post-its. Of course, we know this was invented by Michelle from Romeo and Michelle's dual biography, but she didn't mention the first intended use was supposed to be a super strong adhesive. A super strong adhesive. Well, we know that didn't work. It was noted for its reusable and pressure sensitive properties. So, what was the adhesive trying to be used before it was put on post its? Was it
Hmm.
for a way to hold on wigs and hairpieces, B, used for bookmarks, C, a sealant for butt and holes on long car rides?
Thanks for making this one easy. A.
No, bookmarks, B.
It's you said it was supposed to be a stronger adhesive.
No, it was intentionally meant to be a stronger adhesive, but they
Oh,
failed miserably, and
I
it was
thought
noted for its reusable and
I
pressure sensitive properties. So
I
it's a
thought
perfect thing to use for wigs, but no, it was
no,
used as bookmarks.
I misunderstood you with all of your fucking mush mouthness. So
Am I hard to talk? Is it bad?
no,
I'm sorry.
how many of those vodkas have you had so far?
Just one. It was just a really stiff one. My first drink of it, I'm like, whoa.
Dear Lord.
All right. I have a few more on here, and I got a really good one for the end. Uh, the treadmill. Not only is this used for running and walking and never getting anywhere, it was the first intended for A. Farmers put horses on them to generate more energy than wind and water. B. Used by prisoners to grind corn. Or C. Turning it on full blast and using it as a launching pad for various fruits and vegetables.
Judging from what I used to see in old cartoons where it was a power source, I will say the horse one.
Yes, that's actually where the word horsepower comes from. The power
Ah,
needed to power these machines became known as horsepower. Pretty interesting there.
yeah.
Uh,
That see, this is. I don't think old cartoons get enough credit. Like old Bugs Bunny and old Tom and Jerry. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't know about most classical music or like it's how I knew about like movie stars from like the 40s and 50s and stuff in the 80s. It's like, oh
mhm,
yeah, that's Cary Grant. Oh, that's Jimmy Cagney. And the only reason I knew is because I used to watch those old cartoons and I learned lots of stuff. So,
very true.
uh,
Very true on that. Uh, Auto tune. We know it today being used by rappers to fix their shitty music, but it was designed by former Exxon engineer Andy Hildebrand for what? A. Locating pockets of oil reserves using reflective sound waves. B. Locating pods of whales using reflective sound waves to avoid an oil spill. Or C. Giving sex phone operators more longevity.
uh, I'd like to first point out a flaw.
Okay.
Uh, it's not just rappers that use autotune. Pop stars use it. Lots of you can always tell,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, they lots of
Rappers are
lots of
notorious for it.
no. There's one rapper that's notorious for it. I think pop stars probably use it more than they do. You're more likely to hear autotune on a pop station than rap.
Mhm.
All right, I would say the whale pod
No.
one.
A. Locating pockets of oil reserves using reflective sound waves.
Damn, I figured it made such an annoying sound that it would shoo whales off. But okay.
Next one. Popcorn. Now we just fill buckets and buckets of it and pour lots of hot butter and stuff our faces in dark movie theaters. But it was originally eaten as a breakfast cereal, B, by animals with upset stomachs, or C, by only the elite who could afford to pop the kernels in specialized pans.
Cereal.
Yep. It was originally eaten as breakfast cereal with milk and honey. Freaking disgusting.
It's what corn pops are, dude.
Yeah, but they're puffed up the right way and sweetened, not however popcorn is popped with the
I mean,
kernel exploding.
I don't like caramel corn or sweet corn at all. I hate kettle corn. I like my popcorn salty. Blah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Kettle
so
corn's pretty good, but it's a shock if you're thinking you're getting regular corn. You take a big bite of it, and you're like, "Holy crap! It's super sweet."
oh god, no, gosh. Now I'm just having flashbacks to Halloween past when I was a little kid, and you go to that one house and they give you a fucking popcorn ball.
Yeah, or that bag of popcorn they give you that's probably 6 days
No,
old.
no, bag of popcorn I can handle. Popcorn ball. That was one. It was always stale. Two, it's always sticky. Three, it's like what made it stick together?
Yeah, it's
Why is
supposed to
this
be for
part
use for Rice
salty?
Krispie treats, not popcorn balls.
Why is this part salty? Anyway,
Oh,
no, you're fine. You're fine.
all right. The last one, and it's the best one.
Okay.
Cornflakes. Of course, we know this as the breakfast cereal that is seen at all the continental breakfast at any hotel you stay at. However, its intended purpose has a greater meaning. Was it for A, for prisoners, schools, and hospitals due to the cheap cost, or B, to prevent you from masturbating, or C, to be mixed with animal feed as a special treat for the herd?
Jason, I know
Yes.
the whole history around all this. Do you really want me to do
Yes.
the answer?
Yeah,
It's to keep you from spanking your monkey.
it's exactly right. And with that, this one actually deserves a little bit of a longer answer.
Please do.
Cornflakes, yeah, was invented by the Kellogg brothers, John Harvey Kellogg and Will Keith Kellogg. The brothers, who were of the Seventh day Adventist faith, had a strict lifestyle that forbade the consumption of meat, alcohol, tobacco, tea, and coffee. John took it to greater length as he was strongly or strictly against masturbation. So much so he viewed it as an act of madness. Get this, he even stated that men who were caught should have their foreskins sewn and women should have acid poured on their clits.
Why? Okay.
Yeah,
He's
he's
I,
yeah. He's
he's a nut bar. I know. I
mhm.
know very much about a lot about him. Please go on.
With all this weird shit he believed, he also believed red meat was one of the causes of sexual desires. So he invented a food based in cereal. So remember that the next time you're eating a bowl of cornflakes instead of masturbating.
Ah, so do you understand how it transitioned from a sexual suppressant to a actual breakfast cereal?
No.
All right. So, all right, you got the two Kellogg brothers, and you got the
Hmm.
older Kellogg brother and the younger one. The older one was very much a like he's the nut bar, the one that was
Hmm.
anti masturbation crazy. He had his health sanitarium that he created. If you ever see the movie Road to Wellville, it's based on that. Um, and so he had this sanatorium where he would get people together, and it's all about healthiness and wellness or whatever. And they came up with the cornflakes. Well, the money just starts, it starts off kind of high because you get all these rich people going, but then it starts going down. And younger Kellogg brother finally kind of stands up to his older brother, says, "You know what? I don't want to work with you no more. You're crazy. You're a nutballer. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to make the cereal." And they go and they, if I recall correctly, they just sue each other back and forth for a while until the older one finally died. I don't think they ever really got it settled, but the older one died. And then he just figured out, oh, sweeten the cornflakes a little bit, and it's a great breakfast cereal.
Wow. Who
Actually,
knew?
if I want to say he figured it out well before his brother died, and that's what really caused the contention between them because all of a sudden he started making money off the cornflakes, and then older brother's all like, "Where's my cut, bitch? You're you,
Hmm.
you're a little brother. You do what the hell I say. I was the one in charge, whatever." So it's something along those lines. I've watched stuff about them, and it's fascinating what just an absolute tyrannical, crazy nut bar that Kellogg guy was, the older
You,
brother.
I mean, I didn't read as much as you read into it, but just reading that little bit and knowing how a breakfast cereal came of not wanting you to jack off is amazing.
There's something that I'm surprised did not show up on this list that came about during around the Prohibition era, like right before that, whenever a lot of the women's groups were doing their abstinence, movements to try to get people to stop drinking, and there was something that was invented that was supposed to prevent people from drinking, and I cannot remember what it is. But it's
Well,
like now it's like a common everyday snack, and I can't think of what it is. We'll have to look at that.
well,
All
speaking
right,
of
screw that.
prohibition, I
Mm,
knew the government was poisoning beer and liquor because they didn't
yeah,
want people to drink anymore.
yeah, that's pretty messed up. Invented because of No, the alcohol. I don't want to say prohibition. What is that? Damn it. I can't find it. Food invented to help people not drink. Not drink alcohol. Yeah, talk amongst yourselves while I Google this.
Do we need a topic?
Uh, no, well, maybe I made that shit up. I don't know. I can't find it. Oh well. Maybe I'm full of shit, y'all. And it could just
Well,
been that maybe I mixed up the cornflake thing. Maybe it's a Mandela thing. I don't know.
ooh, very
Ooh.
good, very good.
Oh.
Well, that will do it for this episode. Let us know in the comments which one surprised you the most, or did I leave a good one out? Just like Darrell said, maybe he did think of one from the prohibition that we currently use, and we don't know what it is. But if you do, leave in the comments. Check
Yep.
us out next show when Darrell gathers up his Lincoln logs and will tell us another story that made him say, "Wait, what?"
Oh, it's not about Lincoln Logs. It's trust me, you're gonna like next week's episode.
Good. I'm looking forward to it.
All
Well,
right.
we'll see you guys later.
Hey, bye. Thank you for joining us for Waywut. If you would, tell your friends or your enemies that they can watch us on YouTube or Rumble. And if you don't want to see our face or if they don't want to see our faces, you can listen to us on your preferred audio platform. That's Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Pandora, you name it. We're probably on there. Please like, review, and comment on whatever platform you joined us on today. We'd appreciate that a ton. Again, just thank you for listening and watching, and we hope you'll join us next time, and we'll make you say, wait, what?